Glen Cannick lies north just across the ridge from Glen Affric and has a certain matching beauty in its lower parts. First time I came here was long before the hydroelectric dam had been built across it, turning two lochs into one. The dam itself, 2,500 feet long, 116 feet high, makes it the biggest in Scotland. And from its top, looking down it, you realise how high up you are, and away to the west, the two sheets of water now turned into one. Donald McLennan has seen the changes because he was a deer stalker here. That's the new Loch Malarnach, 9 miles long, and you've spent a lot of years as a gillie in this loch.
10 years as a trout fishing gillie in the summertime. But when the north wind gets up to gale force there, it's no summer, believe you me.
And you've got to use a boat because there's not even a track up the edge of the loch.
There's no track where a road used to be.
And that road used to serve 3 shooting lodges?
Oh yes. Cossack, Benula and the old Benula Lodge.
And each of these lodges had a deer stalker in it?
Oh yes.
After that nostalgic walk to that glen of great change, we returned to the stalker's cottage in Loch Affric. I think it takes a very special kind of a person to live happily in the kind of isolation that used to be regarded as normal in these glens. You've got to be self-sufficient, adaptable when the winter cuts you off from the outside world. You're thrown back in your own resources. I wondered how Mrs. McLennan and young Duncan enjoyed living here.
Well, it's been the only home I've known since I married. I dread to think of the day he retires.
Is that right?
Yes.
But you've got your son here, Duncan, who was born here. You're 24, Duncan.
That's right, Tom, yes.
And do you enjoy it here?
Oh, yes. I wouldn't be here if not, I don't think.
And I know that you've got hires and all the rest of it, but you want to be a keeper like your dad.
Well, it's a life you enjoy. I wouldn't like to be sitting in an office. I love the hills and outdoors.
So the prospect of 34 years here wouldn't appall you?
Well, I think I started a bit younger than my father. I might make more than that.
Well spoken. Now, for you, Mrs. McLennan, I know that when you came here first, it must have been very difficult to get to the outside world.
Oh, yes, I couldn't drive, you see. I had depended on my husband.
And it was a very bad road in these days,
very
too.
bad. Before the hydro scheme made the new one, you know, before they made.
And then when you come back up through the Caledonian Pines, up the frozen loch, how do you feel when you get home?
Well, wonderful.
Wonderful to be back.
Yes. I'm thankful to be back for peace and quiet.
And you're looking forward to the lambing season and then another deer stalking season.
Yes, that's it, Tom. There'll be foxes in between that as well.
Well, it's great to meet really contented people. I believe you've made me a bit more contented too. Finlay McRae playing a pibroch against the pine trees he's loved and cultivated. There's an old Highland saying, Buin mar angushus, which means lasting as the pine. And I think that's true of its people as well.